So it is a hybrid team that they have selected. Well, to qualify for the last 32, they knocked out Genk, and they've named the same lineup, HJK, to complete a 32 aggregate win. 3-2 aggregate win, I beg your pardon. They deploy a 4-3-3 formation with Mero and Contas flanking Berisha up top. Top scorer is their winger Mero, who's netted in every match bar one so far. He's racked up an impressive 6 goals so far in the competition. Well, City coach Ben Wilkinson has certainly faced a few challenges in naming his lineup, with the likes of Stefan Funi and Divine Mukasa loaned out during the January transfer window. He's made 4 changes to the side, which brilliantly beat Real Madrid 4-0 in December. Femi Fapatu, Tyrone Samba, Manny Warhurst and Christian Dunbar McDonald come in. Regan Heskey is the Blues' leading scorer in this competition. And this is a City where his dad Emile once scored during his days at Liverpool. Well, it's going to be the young Blues that get things underway. It is a classic European night in early February. Bitingly cold, a snowstorm as kick-off loomed, and a reality that all the fans in here are supporting the home team. First thing that the young City players are going to have to do is negotiate this film of snow that has certainly set itself on the pitch. There is a yellow luminous ball, but it is not that easy to pick out against the whitening pitch. City so far have been in the league phase of the competition. It is a competition, the UEFA Youth League, which has 2 separate sides to it. The 36 teams whose senior teams qualify for the Champions League, well, they automatically qualify for the UEFA Youth League. And then running in parallel are teams who qualify for the UEFA Youth League off their domestic competition when the senior teams haven't qualified for the UEFA Youth League. So in the case of today's opponents, HJK, their senior team did not qualify for the Champions League, so HJK have had to make their own way through to the last 32. There's Ben Wilkinson, suitably wrapped up in a very thick coat, and very quickly the hat is donned, and I can't say I blame him either. There's Toivo Mero, the Helsinki leading scorer. 6 goals so far in 6 starts, and it is he who'll float this free kick over, and it will go out for a corner. The game's first in the opening 3 minutes here. Brooklyn Umfonku is one of the very few players out there who doesn't seem to have donned the Under Armour. And it was he that conceded the corner. And it is indeed Mero again who decides to take it short. Plays it in, the cross is a teaser, and it goes out for a goal kick. City, in order to qualify for this, beat Bayer Leverkusen, Napoli, Monaco and Real Madrid, losing to Villarreal and Borussia Dortmund. Finishing in 10th in the competition. Number of teams played their last 32 game last night, or yesterday afternoon. All the matches will be completed today. There is the HJK head coach, Pepadim Hetamai. And his team have started well with Berisha, but City win the ball back. Well, it has gone out for a throw. seemed to strike an arm, that, yeah, it did. Just hit the arm of Christian Dunbar MacDonald. City will have a throw. Dunbar MacDonald goes over to take it. Leaves it from Fonku. City just at the moment struggling to get their game going. You can see that the passing has to be a little bit crisper than normal because that film of snow is holding the ball up a little bit. Regan Heskey loses out in the duel there, and it goes out for a throw. Well, it really is home advantage for HJK Helsinki. So used to playing in these conditions, so used to this atmosphere, this stadium. The bitterly cold weather. Just another day for people in this part of the world. Similar scenario to when Pep Guardiola's first team went to Bodo Glimt a couple of weeks back. Here's Mfonku. Now Dunbar MacDonald. Crosses too close to the goalkeeper. City have been in the UEFA Youth League since its inception back in 2013-14. I mentioned earlier that teams qualify for the Champions League and then their younger teams automatically therefore qualify for the Youth League. And of course City's first team have qualified for the Champions League every season since their very first qualification under Roberto Mancini. So it's a familiar path for City's young players, albeit each year it's a different class, so to speak. One or two out there played last season, but there aren't many. Here's Noble, who has tasted it before. Braithwaite. Now Heskey. McFarlane tried to go on his outside. Braithwaite, now Noble, now Mfonku. Braithwaite again. Gray. Up towards Warhurst. Couldn't quite control it. City do win it back though, and Samba's onto it. Good footwork from Samba. The shot's on target, but too close to the goalkeeper Harponen. It's an early sighter for Tyrone Samba, whose brother Floyd has already impressed us in the Premier League 2 and UEFA Youth League this season. It's the first time that Tyrone Samba has ever started a UEFA Youth League game. His brother has already scored a couple of goals in this competition. Here is Tyrone. Now Regan Heskey, whose brother Jayden is too old for this competition, although he has gone on loan to Sheffield Wednesday anyway. Heskey tackled, and the ball guided back to Harponen in the HJK goal. Just getting the sense that the Blues are starting to dictate what we're witnessing here. Here's Dunbar MacDonald and Mfonku on his overlap. Here is Mfonku. Tries to maybe win a corner, keeps it alive though. Played back to Noble. Now Braithwaite. Such a versatile player, Caden Braithwaite. Can pop up at left back, at holding midfield. or at centre-half, as he is today. Braithwaite again. Heskey. McFarlane went on his overlap, but City coming back inside again with the ball. Noble. Dunbar McDonald. Fapatu. Noble. And Fonku. Noble again. Dunbar McDonald. And Fonku. Dunbar McDonald. Gray. Again Dunbar McDonald joining in, and Fonku a crossing position. Again across too close to Harpenham in the HJK goal. Well, the furthest City have ever got in the UEFA Youth League was the semi-final stage back in 2018. They have had 3 quarter-finals. Most of the times that they've been knocked out in recent seasons, it's been away from home. Indeed, AZ Alkmaar overcame them last campaign. And they've also lost to the likes of Mainz and Hajduk Split in recent seasons, all away from home. Here's Mfonku. Ball breaks for Mero. And there's no offside as Berisha comes forward. And now it's another corner after Fapatu got in the way. Good counter-attack, which Berisha led. Fapatu did well to get there in the nick of time. Mero with the corner. And it's on target and in. Turned in by Palmula. And HJK Helsinki take the lead from a set piece. Palmula just glancing it beyond Spike Brits, and in the 12th minute City find themselves behind. It's his first goal in the UEFA Youth League this season. He rose high and glanced it just beyond the reach of Spike Brits, who couldn't get to it, and much to the delight of the vast majority in here, it is HJK that take the lead. A goal of enormous simplicity. A cross, a header, and that was that. So the Blues must come from behind here. Remember, if it ends all square, we'll go to penalties, so the Blues with plenty of time to keep themselves alive in the UEFA Youth League, but they trail despite having probably had the best of the possession in the opening 10 to 12 minutes. Here's Braithwaite. Now Noble. Farlan. Heskey. Fapatu. Heskey. Braithwaite. Noble. Gray. and Fonku. Dunbar McDonald trying to work an angle. In the end, he's misplaced the pass. Gathered in by Palmulla, the goal scorer. Here's Fapatu, that's a good ball. Samba. Noble. Dunbar McDonald, Noble again. Well, he did well. The cross was smothered. Here's Mfonku. Noble. Dunbar McDonald. Taking on the snow as well as the two HJK players. Gray into the area, he's done well. And then hit on target by McFarlane. And now Dunbar McDonald, and his shot was blocked. So the first time really that City have opened up HJK. Here's Mfonku. Gray and Fonku. And now Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. Cross towards Gray, and City are level already. Charlie Gray, the captain, popping up with a goal. It was a well-worked move by City. They're only behind for about 4 minutes. And they have played some good football in the opening few minutes here. The goal a little bit against the run of play when HJK scored. But Charlie Gray has put the score level again. Good football. McFarlane with a cutback. And Gray with a finish, and City are right back in the game again within 4 minutes. It is HJK Helsinki 1, City 1. Charlie Gray with his second goal in the UEFA Youth League. Well, you have to believe in your processes, and City had started the game well. Here's Dunbar McDonald. Chance to go at them again, and in the end he's won a corner, which is City's first. Well, you had the sense before HJK took the lead that the Blues were in their rhythm, dictating the play, and since falling behind they have continued their dominance. Can the Blues do to the home side what the home side did to them from the earlier corner? Here's Gray. Change the angle. McFarlane jumps, cleared. Samba picks it up. Shot by Heskey, and a goal kick. Well, Heskey felt that was a corner. A couple of his colleagues agree with him, but a goal kick has been awarded. Sure what the Bosnian referee is indicating with that hand signal. You can see there's no break in the snowfall. It's been an entertaining opening 19 minutes here. City behind from a set piece, level through their captain Charlie Gray, and they have played some good football. It's given away. Dunbar McDonald, and now Noble. Braithwaite. McFarlane, who set up the goal. Braithwaite, Noble. Dunbar McDonald just losing his footing, allowing Amin to guide it back to Harpenen. Header away by Fapatu. Heskey, Fapatu. Braithwaite, Noble. And all the way back to Brits in the City goal. Good ball out to Mfonku. Here's Gray. Referee's given a handball against Brooklyn Mfonku. Free kick to HJK. City haven't quite got it away, and in the end it's gone out for a corner. Interesting announcement over the PA system not to throw snowballs. Can you imagine the temptation with that pile of snow just in front of the supporters? Well, can City defend this corner better than they did the last, from which the home side took the lead? Changing the angle this time, HJK. Shot blocked. And a second time. Out comes Brits and makes it his. City 1, HJK 1. And the home side have a man down here. It's a really healthy crowd inside this stadium. The locals have turned out in force to cheer on their under-19s, who have had one or two glimmers of the City goal, including that shot that was blocked. I think it looks as though it was blocked by Traore, who's the player receiving treatment. There's McFarlane, who set up the City equaliser. As the snow continues to pour down on the artificial surface here. So just beyond the midpoint of the first half, City pulling themselves level with an equaliser by Charlie Gray after falling behind to a header from a corner. Here's Heskey. Braithwaite. McFarlane wants it. Samba. Fapatu. And now Noble. Braithwaite. Samba. Tackled at the vital moment. And Helsinki looking to counter. McFarlane came across. And Noble guides it back to Brits. Never present in the UEFA Youth League this season. Spike Brits. And a player who has made some important saves in this competition, not least of which saving a penalty in the game against Real Madrid. Here's Fapatu. Noble. Good running from Noble. Gray. And Fonku. Gray again. Dunbar McDonald. Noble. Braithwaite goes instead to Fapatu, and now on to Braithwaite. Back to Fapatu. Braithwaite. Heskey. Braithwaite. Fapatu. It's good possession from City. Heskey. "20 minutes to half-time, 1-1. Here's Dunbar McDonald. Gray, City's goal scorer. McFarlane, who set up the equaliser. Heskey. Samba gives chase. And he gets to the ball, Samba. McFarlane. Braithwaite. McFarlane. Trying to make his way to the byline. And it's a City throw. Well on top here, the Blues, but haven't fashioned a chance in their last couple of minutes. And HJK Helsinki get it away through Levelati. Brits, Fapatu. Noble. Braithwaite. Fapatu, and now Heskey. McFarlane. Braithwaite. Pass picked off by Traore. City win it back though well. Samba. Heskey. McFarlane. Heskey. Noble. Braithwaite again. McFarlane. Samba. Just beaten in the tackle. Clearance will go straight back to City though, with Braithwaite. Completely on top here, City, but haven't tested the goalkeeper since equalising. Braithwaite. Dunbar McDonald. Tried to slip it through to Gray. And the referee has given a foul against Charlie Gray. Well, I've seen some poor decisions in the last few weeks. There's another one. Charlie Gray goes for the ball, and the two of them collide because it's slippy out there, and the referee gives a free kick. Well, rest assured, he would never have given a penalty the other way. Much easier to give a free kick against the attacking team. City still dictating this game. Braithwaite. Noble. Dunbar McDonald. Gray. Try to find Mfonku. Oh dear, oh dear. Referee's given that a foul as well. It's just not a foul. It just is not a foul. Standard of refereeing across Europe just doesn't seem to improve. Foul on Samba. Levailati. Here's Braithwaite. Now Noble. Gray. Dunbar McDonald. And Fonku. Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. McFarlane. Braithwaite. Fapetu. Noble. Just in complete control at the moment, City. Here's Heskey. Now Samba. McFarlane. Heskey. Wins it back. Samba. It's a bit tight in there, so Fapetu goes back to Braithwaite. Here's Noble. Quarter of an hour to half time, and the Blues very much in the ascendancy here. Here's Heskey. McFarlane. He's done well, McFarlane. Tried to find Warhurst, I think. Back in by Fapetu. Samba couldn't get there. Hooked away by Palmula. City back in possession again. Well on top here, City, in everything but the scoreline. Carry on playing like this, they'll also have the advantage in terms of goals as well. Noble. McFarlane. Noble. Braithwaite. And Fonku. Dunbar McDonald. Charlie Gray. Braithwaite. Noble. Gray again. Dunbar McDonald. The last few minutes of this game, maybe the last 10 minutes of this game, has been spent inside HJK's half. Here's Mfonku. Now Gray. Braithwaite again. McFarlane. Heskey. Braithwaite. Noble. And Fonku. Blues moving the home side left and right, trying to just stretch them and find a hole to exploit. Here's Heskey, inch perfect ball. Heskey into the area. And in the end, it's just a corner. Well, the Blues are absolutely in control of this game, but still haven't really tested the goalkeeper since they equalised. Maybe they can break HJK open with a corner. Heskey will whip it in. It's eluded everyone. And it goes out for a goal kick. HJK Helsinki have barely got out of their half in the last 10 to 15 minutes. But, despite all the possession, City have not really broken them apart. Again, the Blues winning it back fairly easily. Unable to build again with Braithwaite. And now Noble. And Braithwaite. Samba. McFarlane. Braithwaite. Heskey. Good running off the ball by McFarlane. Here's Noble. Now Braithwaite. Fapatu. Noble. Mfonku. Slips it into Gray. Gray chopping it back and then just losing it. Dunbar McDonald retrieves. Now Mfonku and Gray. Dunbar McDonald. Noble. Mfonku can't control it. And neither can HJK Helsinki. And it goes out for a City throw with 10 minutes to half time. The Blues absolutely running this game, but just not fashioning chances that would certainly reflect the domination of possession. Here's Heskey. Braithwaite. Noble. Heskey felt maybe McFarlane was behind him and let it go. McFarlane wasn't. Well, if possession was reflected in the scoreline, then City would absolutely be running this game in terms of a healthy lead. But despite having all the possession, they can't fashion a chance at the moment. Here's Gray, who scored from the only chance City have created. Heskey. Fapatu. Now Dunbar McDonald. Now Heskey. Dunbar McDonald. Braithwaite. Noble. Mfonku. Attacking well. Samba tries to find Mfonku again. Samba wins it back. HJK Helsinki, when they have the ball, very quickly don't have it. Gray. Samba. Dunbar McDonald. Tried to slip it through to McFarlane. Still Dunbar McDonald and Heskey. And it's gathered in by Harpinen. Well, absolutely bossing it, totally on top, in control. Can't remember any chances they've fashioned, unfortunately. So much about this performance is outstanding from the young Blues. But they need to grab a goal while they're on top here. Eight minutes to half-time. I imagine Ben Wilkinson will be very, very pleased with this performance. Just a tinge of disappointment, perhaps, that they haven't created any openings. Dunbar McDonald penalised for a foul on Amin. Here is Amin. Now HJK Helsinki can attack with a very good winger, Mero. Danger. City do get it away. Not completely. Kept alive by Nylund. And that's a dangerous ball into the area. The deflection could go anywhere, and it goes in. All that domination, all that possession from City. And with HJK Helsinki's first attack since it went to 1-1, they have scored. Well, the fundamentals of football are, I'm afraid, very apparent. You can have all the possession, you can have all the territorial advantage, you can keep your opponent hemmed in, but if you can't create an opportunity, a side under the cosh, then go a little more direct, and albeit an unfortunate own goal off Braithwaite, HJK Helsinki are back in front here. It is a cruel, cruel goal. Neelan's cross into the area, Braithwaite's deflection, looping over Spike Brits, but all that possession for City, and it is the home side who take the lead again. Oh, that is cruel luck, but as I say, just in control of the game, passing it around, getting to the edge of the final third, getting into the edge of the penalty area, but never really fashioning a single chance, City. And they've been punished. Helsinki haven't crossed the halfway line since City equalised in the 17th minute until then. And they score. And although the graphic at the top of your picture says otherwise, the Blues are behind again. Here's Mfonku. Now Dunbar McDonald. Mfonku. City get it back again with Mfonku. Well, the home side are just happy to sit deep and absorb. And when they get the opportunity, there's a little trigger and they all pour forward. The first goal came from that. They win a corner and score. The second goal's come from that. A deflected cross off Braithwaite from Nyland. Well, City may well merit being in front, but the scoreline says otherwise. Fapatu, Noble, Mfonku working a 1-2, passing up the opportunity to cross it. Goes back instead to Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. Straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. And the Helsinki players getting a bit overreactive to a challenge on the goalkeeper. Warhurst looks decidedly puzzled by their dissatisfaction. It is a contact sport. Really wasn't too much contact from Warhurst, to be honest. City winning it back again. Warhurst shot blocked though. The challenge by Fapatu has been penalised. Free kick to HJK. Bumped away by Harponen. Gray, Fapatu, Gray, Braithwaite, McFarlane, Heskey. Braithwaite, Noble. Can City find a second equaliser before half-time? Fapatu. Dunbar McDonald. Free kick for the challenge. What have City been working on the training ground from this kind of position? Gray's delivery glanced wide by Warhurst. He met it, but couldn't quite deflect it. Probably got too clean a contact on it. We're into the first of 2 added minutes at the end of the first half. A first half in which City have been largely in control, but a first half where it is the home side who've scored from pretty much both their 2 attacks. Here's Noble. Now Mfonku. Nicely done by Gray. I think that was probably a mishit shot from Charlie Gray. Goes out for a throw. Don't think he was crossing. But, for all their possession, City haven't opened HJK open too often, but they did there. And Gray in a good position, drove it wide. Home supporters doing what they can to keep their team feeling empowered, despite being second best in every regard other than the scoreline. Here's Mfonku. Couldn't find a way through. That's really good skill by Miro. And a chance for Berisha to counter-attack. Skills by Le Goff Conan. City will get it away with Braithwaite. Fapatu, Braithwaite, Fapatu. Noble. Braithwaite. Well, a first half which City have completely dominated, yet if you've just joined us and you see the scoreline, you might think otherwise. The home side have had 2 attacks. They scored from the first after winning a corner and scored from the second via deflected cross from Nyland. Charlie Gray equalised to cancel out the first, but despite being in complete control of possession, the Blues just haven't really fashioned enough openings. And so at half-time here in Finland, it is HJK 2, City 1. Well, despite that, City have been the better team, but unfortunately, you get very little in terms of reward for possession. It's goals that matter, and City need at least 1. Remember, this game is a one-off, and penalties will decide it if the 2 teams are level after 90 minutes. Well, in reality, City have been the better team. There's no doubt about it, but it doesn't really matter because it's the goals that are key. And the HJK Helsinki have 2 of them. You imagine that if City continue in the same way that they were in the first half, that goals will come for them. They have very rarely been troubled by HJK Helsinki, except for the 2 attacks in which they've scored. It is a very frustrating scoreline. The home side have had 2 attempts in the match and scored from both of them. No time to lick your wounds though, City. Just carry on playing the way you were, and I'm sure chances will start to come. And hopefully pass HJK Helsinki into submission. Again, they win the ball high up. Here's Samba. And Fonku. Dunbar McDonald. Samba towards Warhurst, headed away. McFarlane will try and get there, and he does, but at the expense of a HJK throw-in. There's Ben Wilkinson, just his eyes popping out of the warm gear that he's out of necessity having to wear. And I'm sure he would have had enormous positives from that first half performance. Except, of course, for the 2 concessions of the goals. What a great rarity, an attack from the home side. This time it's a goal kick, headed wide by Berisha. So that's the first attack that HJK Helsinki have had that didn't end in a goal, thankfully. Here's Fapatu. So many positives from that first half for City. They really were completely in control of the game, moving the ball around so easily, pulling HJK left and right, not allowing them to get out of their half for probably 43 of the 45 minutes, but sadly, HJK have scored twice from those rare attacks. Here's Heskey. Trying to find his way through. Goes back instead to McFarlane. Now Braithwaite. Noble. Dunbar McDonald. Noble again. That's a City throw. UEFA gave that second goal to Nylund, although his cross was heavily deflected by Braithwaite. Here's McFarlane. Now Heskey. Now McFarlane. Braithwaite. You have to applaud the home side for their concentration out of possession, because they spent so much of the game out of possession. Here's Braithwaite. Gray. Heskey. Gray continues his run. McFarlane. Heskey. Samba. Try to thread it through. Here's Gray. Cross is dangerous. And Heskey goes down for a penalty. And that's little more than City have deserved. They've been all over HJK. And Heskey brought down just by the penalty spot. And he is normally City's penalty taker. But the chance to put City level here. Well, they've had so much possession. They haven't really fashioned too many openings. But when they did there, Talmulla has been penalised for a foul on Regan Heskey. Just as the ball comes out, Heskey brought down. And the Blues have the chance from the spot to find a second equaliser. And as I say, it is normally Regan Heskey who takes penalties for City, so he'll have to pick himself up and dispatch it. And here he is trying to do exactly that. Can he make it 2-2 here in the 51st minute? Regan Heskey looking for his 5th UEFA Youth League goal of the season. 3 out of 3 so far in the UEFA Youth League from the penalty spot. Come on, Regan, tuck this in. Here he goes. It's saved, but he scores on the rebound. That'll do. Heskey's penalty save, but Regan Heskey was lively enough to follow up on the rebound. And the Blues are back at 2-2. Just maybe telegraphed the spot kick a little bit. but fortunately the ball pushed back to him again, and he does get his 10th goal of the season and he's 5th in the UEFA Youth League, and the Blues absolutely meriting being back level again. Well, his dad Emile scored in this city for Liverpool. Now his son has done the same. Like father, like son. And those who have donned City's blue enjoyed that moment. Well, what they need to do, the Blues, is to continue playing the way that they were in the first half. But just maybe they can find a few more gaps. Here's Heskey leading the charge. Tackled though before he could dispatch a pass. Remember, this game will go to penalties if it's level at full time. City's dominance suggests that it ought to be settled in 90 minutes. Time and time again, HJK Helsinki just lose the ball and City are right back in control of possession. So twice they've come from behind, the Blues. Can they get the all-important 5th goal of the contest? Here's McFarlane. Braithwaite, Noble. Braithwaite. Noble again. Ball threaded through. And Fonku tries to get to the byline, but he can't. Dunbar McDonald tries to win it back, and then he's penalised for a foul. Does seem like a pretty fussy referee, this one, but at least he gave the right decision after Heskey was upended in the box. 55th minute, still a long way to go in this game, 36 minutes to be precise. City 1-0 down and 2-1 down. Twice grabbing an equaliser and genuinely deserving it. That's well won by Samba. Now then, can City find a gap here? Warhurst trying to work his way through. Played it in towards probably Samba, but it's been cleared. McFarlane for City. Just clipped from behind. Free kick to the Blues. Braithwaite. Now Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. Braithwaite. McFarlane. Should hold up on the snow. Here's Mfonku. Heskey. McFarlane. Heskey. McFarlane again. Another dangerous move. HJK getting it away. Here's Gray. Cleared again. City once again bossing this game. Here's Braithwaite. Now Gray. Noble. Up towards Samba. Gathered by Harponen. So much to admire in this City performance, but can they start to fashion a few more chances? Maybe as the home side perhaps are weakened and tired because of the amount of time they've spent in retreat. Maybe their mental focus will start to slip. We shall see. Here are the home side, looking to fashion a chance, and there's a little danger here. It's good football, the shot's gone wide. It was Palmula who scored earlier and then gave away the penalty, who put his shot wide of the post. It was a good chance for HJK. City were open for a moment, and I think they were delighted to see the shot go wide from Palmula. There's the reminder to the Blues. All their domination, all their territorial advantage. Again on the counter, HJK Helsinki looked menacing. Blues could do with a third goal here. Try and take the lead for the first time in the match. Again, they're in retreat, but this time they'll tidy up through Braithwaite and then Brits. And then Braithwaite. Oh, he was just caught, and the ball's going to stay in here. And then Brits comes out, and City managed to get it away. Braithwaite pokes it clear. Here's Mfonku. Home supporters do what they can to make home advantage count. Here's Noble. Now Braithwaite. Noble. Now Brits. Braithwaite. Noble. Gray. Nice ball to bring in Heskey. Samba makes the run, takes a defender with him. Heskey goes. Tries to find Samba, and then Gray. Didn't get enough power on it. Here's Mfonku. Now Noble. Deflection on the cross, headed clear. McFarlane. Heskey. Fapetu. Braithwaite. Fapetu. Heskey. Good ball. McFarlane. Great cross. Surely Gray. No. Deflected out. Goal kick. Warhurst nearly on the far side. Gray on the near post. Neither could get the finish. And it stays at 2-2. Again, just keeping HJK in their own penalty area. Good challenge to deny Warhurst, and then a good block by Levelati, and it bounced off the shins of Gray and out for a goal kick. City continue to just keep the ball inside HJK territory. Samba couldn't find a way through. Heskey wins it back. They're winning the duel, City. Oh, and then there's a glove in the face of Heskey there, and this referee, who's blown for almost anything, decides not to blow this time. Here's Mfonku. Heskey still down. City playing it in towards Samba. Heskey still down. Getting up now, though. Here's Noble. And he's back joining in the play again. Mfonku, now Dunbar McDonald. Braithwaite. Noble. Braithwaite. Here is Heskey. Trying to work something with Samba. One back by Dunbar McDonald. Samba tackled. Gray. Dunbar McDonald. Good run from him. Good balance as well, and in the end he loses it. City will win it back with Mfonku. Strong in the tackle, Mfonku. Holds on to the ball well. Just coming at HJK over and over again, City. Looking to try and grab this all-important third goal. Fapatu, Braithwaite, Heskey. Still Regan Heskey. Tries the shot. Goal kick. The referee, I think, has seen a little bit of blood on the face of Heskey. City going to make a change in a moment. And it's Fapatu's coming off. And it's Parker who's coming on to make his debut in the competition. Xavier Parker takes the place of Fapatu for a UEFA Youth League debut. This was the chance that City had that led to the penalty. Heskey caught by Palmula. Heskey's penalty then saved, but he was swift enough to react on the rebound to make it 2-2. And then he got a whack in the nose, which the referee decided not to stop the play for. And now City have given a UEFA Youth League debut to Parker. Xavier Parker. Takes the place in midfield of Fapatu. McFarlane with the throw. Above Heskey. Warhurst tried to lay it off. '65th minute. And as it stands, we're heading for penalties. There's a long way to go. City win it back well. No. Referee says there's a foul by Gray. Some good noise being generated by the home fans. Probably keeping themselves warm. It's -13 at the moment. Another chance, and HJK. Oh, it's gone in! Didn't look possible, but Merrow's put it in! And the home side are in front again, and it's their top scorer, Merrow. Well, it looked like the ball was going out of play, but somehow he kept it in, and he scores. And another rare attack for HJK ends in the back of the City goal. It's an extraordinary game of football in that regard. City have been all over the home side, but rather worryingly, when HJK Helsinki get into the final third, they've almost scored every time. Just one shot that went wide of the post. Well, the cross came in, Merrow lost the ball under his foot, but then readjusted. There's no offside, And of course there's no VAR, so it's 3-2. So City have to come from behind again with 23 minutes to play. Well, a lot of substitutions. Berisha comes off. Salo came on for him. Krupkin's come on for Kontas. And Di Nascimento has come on for Goff Conan. And they come on with their team 3-2 up. Gray, Braithwaite, Noble, Braithwaite, Heskey, can't find a way through. Gray puts in a foot. City win it back well with Parker. Now McFarlane. Good turn by McFarlane. Now Gray. Heskey. McFarlane. 22 minutes for City to grab a third goal. A third equaliser. Here's Gray. Noble. Braithwaite, Samba, Heskey, McFarlane, Noble, Dunbar McDonald, and Fonku. Dunbar McDonald. Braithwaite, McFarlane, Heskey, McFarlane, Braithwaite, Noble, Dunbar McDonald, corner. Still 21 minutes to go. Still plenty of time for City to get themselves a goal. Might it come here? Shot charged down. Here's Gray. Now Noble. Dunbar McDonald. Parker. Gray. Noble. McFarlane, it's good play. Samba, McFarlane, Heskey, great cross, 3-3. Matty Warhurst, fabulous move from City. Beautifully worked to the left-hand side. The cross was inch perfect. And the header from Matty Warhurst to make it 3-3. Present opportunities to a player like Warhurst and he will get you a goal. And for the third time in this game, City have got themselves an equaliser. Terrific move. McFarlane, Heskey, Warhurst, 3-3. Really well worked by the Blues. And snaffled by Warhurst. Well, there's 20 minutes still to play. City have been the better team, but 3 times they've had to come from behind. Now, what's the referee seen there? A foul by Parker and a booking for Parker. Well, he's not been on the field long, making his UEFA Youth League debut, Parker. And he's been booked for his challenge on Amin. I've seen a replay of the challenge. It didn't look like a bookable offence. Anyway, it's another substitution City are preparing to make. Header away was a good one by McFarlane. Gray gets a foot in. Good challenge by Samba. Warhurst. Now Parker. And that's a foul. And another free kick. Traore penalised. Now City will make the change and they'll bring on Headley. And they're taking off Dunbar McDonald. Headley probably will go over in front of Mfonku on that side. 17 minutes to go. Helsinki 3, City 3. Here's Gray. Now McFarlane. Braithwaite, Gray, Braithwaite. Noble, Braithwaite. Headley. Mfonku. Cleared. Noble keeps it inside HJK territory. Now Gray. It's a good ball, Headley. Just forced away though. Looking for support. And Mfonku's there. Noble, Braithwaite. Heskey. McFarlane, Heskey. A goal and an assist for Heskey. Braithwaite. Noble. McFarlane. Heskey lost his footing. So McFarlane went the other way. Gray now to Heskey. And that's a foul. Free kick to the Blues. 16 minutes to go. City looking to get in front for the first time. They've been 1-0 down, 2-1 down and 3-2 down. Showed enormous character and a belief in their processes. And they've just worn the opponents down. Can they grab the lead for the first time? Gray and Heskey hoping to craft an opening here. Gray will deliver. Cleared. Does it have enough energy to cross the line? It does. And it's an HJK throw. No, it's a City throw. Difficult to tell sometimes. The snow is so bad. Difficult to pick out who gets the last touch. Here's Gray. Now Mfonku. Now Noble. Inside the last quarter of an hour, penalties looming large on the horizon. Noble. Gray. Little pull of the shirt. Free kick to City. Here's Noble. Lay off from Parker. Gray. Noble. Headley. Oh, and Parker's shot tipped away. And it goes out for a throw. Good goalkeeping by Harponen to deny Parker, who hit the ball on the turn. Very nearly grabbed a goal on his UEFA Youth League debut. Here's Braithwaite, good feet. Noble. McFarlane, Gray. McFarlane. Heskey. It's done well, Heskey. Samba. Braithwaite. 13 minutes to go. Gray. Samba. Gray. Won't get there. Well, he did. The referee thinks that challenge is okay. And Mfonku guides it back to Brits. City to start again with Noble. Starting to go long up towards Warhurst. The goalkeeper came for it and almost made a real hash of it. City end up with a throw. Could have been a lot worse for the home side. McFarlane, Samba, McFarlane, Samba again. Referee's seen an offside flag. And with 12 minutes to go, we're heading for penalties. But you just feel more chances are coming. Well, this was the turn and hit by Parker. That's the save by Harponen. City looked to take the lead for the first time. Little doubt they've been the better team, the Blues, and they very nearly benefited from a goalkeeping error there. Here's Noble. Mfonku. Warhurst, Headley. It's good defending by Headley. Came back and did his job. Tracked the run. 11 minutes to go. Here is Headley. Now Parker. And now Gray. And Samba. And now Heskey. Promise again here for City. Heskey can't find a way through though. McFarlane won it back briefly. And in the end it's a throw. Another substitution is looming. Again, it's the home side who are busy. Amin is coming off. And Grunland is coming on. Ben Wilkinson does have the likes of Mahamadou Sangare, who can certainly change a game up his sleeve if he needs in the last 10 minutes. City again winning the ball back so quickly. Here's Mfonku. Now Gray. Now Headley. Noble clips it in. Warhurst, oh, he met it. Couldn't get it under the crossbar. By no means an easy chance, but a chance nonetheless. Met it pretty well, Warhurst. Just couldn't get it under the bar. First UEFA Youth League goal he scored to make it 3-3. Looking to grab his second UEFA Youth League goal. It's a City throw, but nobody knew which way to give it. In the end, they gave it to HJK. There are 9 minutes remaining before we go to penalties. Noble forward, headed away. Heskey couldn't get there. Noble's there for the Blues. Brings in Headley. Good running off the ball by Parker. Xavier Parker making his UEFA Youth League debut. Almost scored a few minutes ago. Tipped away by Harpenen in the HJK goal. Here's Braithwaite. McFarlane. Noble. Braithwaite. Noble. Gray tried to lay it off, but it was blocked. Samba couldn't get there. Foul on Gray. Free kick to City. Taken quickly. Here's McFarlane. Now Gray again. Noble. Braithwaite. Noble again. It's been a really mature display, this, from City's young players. Completely dominated the game, and that's another foul. That'll be a yellow card for the challenge on Mfonku. Al Mullah's had an eventful night, all things considered. Well, late afternoon, I should say. Scored a goal, gave away a penalty, now he's been booked. Seven minutes for City to grab a winner here. A win and goal which would certainly be merited. We've been in the ascendancy for so long in this game. The hosts have barely gone out of their own half. 3 goals really against the run of play. And City grab the game's 7th goal and take the lead for the first time in the tie. Gray standing over the free kick. Good shape on the cross. Oh, Noble got up. Couldn't get it on target. It was a good ball in, actually. And Noble met it, but never really looked in control of the header. Just over 5 minutes to go. And the genuine prospect of penalties looking likelier by the moment. McFarlane with a throw. Looking for some movement. Up towards Warhurst. Goes out for another City throw. City have spent so much of the game in the HJK Helsinki half of the field. They've had to come from behind 3 times. Here's Warhurst, who got City's 3rd equaliser. McFarlane. Braithwaite. Noble. Headley. Mfonku. Noble. Braithwaite has to go back to Brits. Rare touch of the ball for Brits. Here's Braithwaite. Might become a pivotal figure, Spike Brits, in 5 minutes' time. Headley. Good ball. McFarlane. Heskey. Attacks the byline. Keeps on going, and then it's cleared. City will pick it up again. Noble. Gray. Heskey. Works an angle, tries the shot. Cannons away. Gray. McFarlane. Gray. Samba. Threads it through to Heskey. Gray tries to find McFarlane, and it goes out for a goal kick. Just over 3 minutes to go now. Can City find a winning goal here and avoid penalties? Well, HJK Helsinki haven't had that many attacks in the game, but they've been efficient with them. Taking the lead, make it 1-0. Gray equalised 1-1. Deflected cross from Nyland made it 2-1. Heskey had his penalty save, but scored on the rebound 2-2. Merrow against the run of play made it 3-2. And then Warhurst with an equaliser to make it 3-3. City continue to boss the game. And all the various metrics that you measure a match by are in City's favour, apart from the scoreline. They can ill afford to concede again. Look at that, 17 attempts for City. Got to be careful to keep the back door closed. Spike Brits will clear this. Pops it up to Gray. Back to Brits again. 2 minutes of the 90 to go. Braithwaite. Now Brits, who has saved penalties in the past, not least of which against Real Madrid in City's last UEFA Youth League game. Braithwaite. Noble. Gray. City advancing. Headley. Parker. Saved by the goalkeeper, Samba. Was he brought down? Referee waves play on. Heskey, deflection, goal kick. Another chance for City, but they couldn't finish it off. Heskey over the crossbar. Looks as though there might have been a deflection, but it must have been his foot that caught the other defender. And City continue to look for this winning goal. Continually winning the ball high up, City, and they've done it again with Mfonku. Now Braithwaite, and now McFarlane. Heskey. Can't take the ball with him, Heskey, but he's still got it somehow. Samba, can he find a way through? Thumped away. Noble. Braithwaite. Heskey. Samba can't get to it. City trying to win it back. Gray tried to win it back. Got to be careful to keep the back door closed. 3 added minutes for him. Braithwaite strong. Goes out for a throw. First of 3 added minutes before we go to penalties to decide who will go into the last 16. City have been clobbering on that door, but by hook or by crook, HJK haven't allowed them the all-important 4th goal. McFarlane to get it away. Throw to the hosts. Harponen. City will get to it with McFarlane. Still 2 minutes of added time to play out. Brits. Not really had much to do, Brits, apart from pick the ball out of his net 3 times. Here's Braithwaite. Noble. Headley. It's a good ball. Parker. That's dangerous. Oh, he slipped over. And it's a goal kick. City wondered if it should be a corner. Goal kick's the award. A very late substitution for the home side. And Zaitras coming on for Cardi. Well, presumably, Zaitras a penalty taker. 1 minute of the added time remain between these two sides in a penalty shootout. Temperatures plummeting all the time, down to -14. A yellow card for time wasting for Harponen. The referee has given a foul. Free kick to the home side, and Fonku's been penalised. Well, let's make sure that we get to that penalty shootout now. Free kick to HJK. Well, there's the final whistle. And this game's going to be settled from the penalty spot. 3 times against a run of play, City have trailed. Palmula with the opening goal, Gray with the equaliser, Milan with the deflected cross, Heskey with the equaliser after he had his penalty saved but scored on the rebound. Mero then made it 3-2 with a rare HJK second half attack. Matty Warhurst with the third equaliser. And although City had good moments to try and win the game, they couldn't get the 7th goal of the match. And so, full time here in the Helsinki Football Stadium. It is HJK 3, City 3, and we go to penalties. And it's going to be City who will take the first kick, because that was Charlie Gray that won the toss, so Heskey has the responsibility. He had his penalty saved in normal time, but scored on the rebound. Of course, he won't be afforded that opportunity if there's another save here. So these same two protagonists, Heskey against Harponen. Harponen saved the first penalty during normal time. Will Regan Heskey have the upper hand this time around? So Regan Heskey with the first penalty of the shootout. Can he put City one up? Here he goes. Regan Heskey scores easily. And City are one up. Now then, Spike Brits. A confident swagger of a goalkeeper. So much self-belief he has in himself. He'll fancy himself to be the hero, you know. But he's up against HJK's top scorer, Mero. Spike Brits, all the antics that he knows. Mero to take it. And he scores. 1-1. Charlie Gray, City captain, to try and give City the 2-1 advantage. Another scorer in 90 minutes, Charlie Gray. What's he like now under pressure from the spot? Charlie Gray scores. Terrific penalty. Up into the stanchion, really. No goalkeeper's getting anywhere near that. It's a brilliant penalty. HJK. Traore now for the home side. Traore against Brits. Long run up from Traore. Spike Brits for City in the goal. 2-2. Lots of young faces in the crowd. Lots of young faces on the pitch. Here's Warhurst. So City's 3 goal scorers in 90 minutes are taking the first 3 penalties. Gray and Heskey have been successful. Can Warhurst make it 3 out of 3? Matty Warhurst scores. 3-2 City. Another good penalty. So City's 3 goal scorers in the game, also on target in the shootout. Spike Brits, swig of water. It's not like the first team where they'll have lots of information about penalties from HJK. It'll be down to gut feeling. The Nascimento came on as a substitute in the second half to try and make it 3-3. Spike Brits up against him. Here is Di Nascimento, and it goes down the middle. And Brits dived out of the way, unfortunately. Kean Noble, one of the centre halves. Focus of concentration. Crowd doing what they can to put him off. Noble hits the inside of the post. It's advantage HJK. Noble sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, but hit the post. And City blink first. The goalkeeper was nowhere to be seen, but Noble got it just too far over. Well, this penalty is massive now. This is so important. If he scores Nyland, City have to score their final one. And he has scored it. And City are behind in the penalty shootout. And the pressure is ramping up on them. So City have to score and then hope that HJK miss. It's as simple as that. We're down to the 5th penalty. McFarlane with a smile on his face. I hope he's smiling in a moment too. Has to score or City are out. Christian McFarlane, left-footed, to give City hope in the shootout. Here's McFarlane. Well, he's done what he had to do. We're back at 4-4, but it is the 10th penalty. And HJK can win it with this kick. Spike Brits, a study in concentration. A little prayer uttered as well. It is the worst way to lose. But City may well be going out. Spike Brits, can he save City here? He can't, and City are out. And HJK, despite being very much second best in the 90 minutes, have converted all 5 penalties. Poor old Kean Noble hit the base of the post with the 8th penalty, and as a consequence, HJK knew if they kept their nerve they would go through. And City's UEFA Youth League is over. They came from behind 3 times to take it to penalties through Warhurst, Heskey and Gray, but they have been beaten 5-4 in bitterly cold conditions in Finland.